What's up, Xbox nerds? I gotta shoot my videos at like 7 o'clock at night, between 6 and 7, between the hours of 7 and 9 o'clock. Don't go above 9. I just seen something a minute ago. Anyway, what's up, everybody? Me again. What do we got? What are we eating tonight? What's on the menu? What's for dessert? What's for dessert? All right. Let me stop playing here. Where we at? Got 2 articles here. Listen to this. It's about the Avengers here. Okay, one article on Eurogamer says Marvel Avengers controversial paid XP boost to be removed following backlash as a first step in rebuilding confidence in us. Right? That's Crystal Dynamics talking, right? But then on Gamers Rant, there's another article on the Avengers, and Square Enix says Marvel Avengers was disappointing. So you really, so you trying to throw Crystal Dynamics under the bus, huh? But real gamers know that you and Sony got relations since PlayStation 1. Let's not forget about that little scenario. Squaresoft, and then you had Enix, and then Square and Enix merged to become Square Enix. But from the Squaresoft side, we know that Square and Sony had relations. Oh yeah, plus Enix and Sony had relations. So this notion, you come out here telling people that the game is disappointing. I'm sitting there looking at like, who are you fooling? Let's not forget the Sony relationship. Okay? Remember when I told you guys what they were trying to do? Because remember, it's Captain America and the Avengers, not Spider-Man and the Avengers. Okay? Let's not forget about that, okay? And we all know that Marvel Ultimate Alliance is over at Nintendo. That's why you're doing this. Okay? So anyway, and we know Crystal Dynamics is the developer, Square is the publisher, and then there is Sony, who was dangling Spider-Man. But Sony and Square Enix got relationships since PlayStation 1. Let's not forget about this, okay? Anyway, where we at? You know, and like I told you guys before, like Alfred said to Bruce Wayne, know your limits, Master Wayne. And then Bruce Wayne said to Alfred, Batman has no limits. Okay, if that's the case, then if a superhero has no limits, then why are these developers putting limitations on the superhero games? This is not the Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis era. This is not PlayStation 1, Sega Saturn, Nintendo 64 era. This is not PlayStation 2, Dreamcast, GameCube, and original Xbox era. This is not PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, and Wii era. This ain't the this is Xbox One, PS4, and Wii U, and this is Xbox Series X, PS5 era. So why are you developers putting limitations on superheroes? And that's the problem with the Avengers, because when you have Iron Man and he can't fly to the top of the Ames building, and then you got Thor and then he can't fly to the top of the Ames building, and then there's the Hulk who can jump to outer space. What is wrong with you developers? But anyway, Square Enix trying to shift blame here. Listen to this. Where we at? Okay, it says here, Square Enix says Marvel Avengers was disappointing. Really? Stop trying to throw Crystal Dynamics under the bus. But anyway, it says here, the publisher does not believe that Crystal Dynamics was a good fit. Really? So you're gonna throw Crystal Dynamics under the bus, huh? After you told Crystal Dynamics to they changed the leveling system, huh? To a Final Fantasy type leveling system. Nice try, Square Enix. You ain't fooling anybody. But anyway, but still stands by the games as a service approach. See, this is why people who play Batman games were saying Rocksteady was supposed to do the Avengers. If Rocksteady did the Avengers, we would have been happy. If WB Games did the Avengers, we would have been happy. Not no Crystal Dynamics with no Square Enix and no Sony. Come on, man. Anyway, during Square Enix 2021 annual report, President Yoshio Matsuda stated that the publisher was unhappy with how Marvel Avengers turned out, and that it was not it was not as successful as the company would like. Many inside and outside industry have expressed frustration that Marvel Avengers was not a good fit for the game as a service approach. However, Matsuda declined to use those words, instead saying that Square Enix need to select game design that mesh with the unique attributes and the taste of our studios and development team. Seemingly, Square Enix and Matsuda are suggesting here that Crystal Dynamics, not the type of service, was the wrong fit for the Avengers characters. Oh, you trying to shift blame, huh? What about you and Sony, huh? Okay. It says here the games as a service model is something that can be tricky to implement into the creative aspect of game making, especially when working with established characters and IPs. While Mitsuda claims Crystal Dynamics team talent were under ritualized during the making of Marvel Avengers, he still believes that there is inherent value in the gas model, saying while the new challenge that we tackle with this title produce a disappointing outcome, we are certain that the gas approach will grow in importance as gaming become more service oriented. Man, this ain't got nothing to do. Come on, man, cut it out. This ain't got nothing to do with service. You put limitations on the superheroes, man. This ain't got nothing to do. The Avengers was supposed to be like DC Universe, man. Come on, quit playing. Who you fooling? But anyway, it says that despite Crystal Dynamics' apparent fumble with Marvel Avengers, the game still has a passionate fan base that enjoy tits for what it is. The developer has been adding free expansion to the game regularly, in the vein of Hawkeye Black Panther expansion, with Spider-Man Adventure just announced to be released on November 30th. Unfortunately, Spider-Man will be exclusive to the PlayStation 4 and 5 version of Marvel Avengers as per a Sony exclusive deal with Square Enix. See what I mean? And this has rubbed many Xbox players the wrong way, so hopefully Microsoft will be granted an exclusive character of its own at some point in the future. For now, Xbox gamers with access to Xbox Game Pass can try out Marvel Avengers through the service for an indefinite amount of time. Crystal Dynamics and Square Enix will need that goodwill going forward, as they have been caught up in another controversy recently regarding the additional of paid consumables. However, these have since been removed. Time will tell if Marvel Avengers can truly save itself and its player base. See, real gamers were saying that Rocksteady or WB Games should have gotten this game. It would have made more sense from day one. We were saying this, you know? And we were right. But anyway, here's the article on Eurogamer. It says Marvel Avengers controversial paid XP boost to be removed following backlash. First step in rebuilding confidence in us. It says Square Enix and Crystal Dynamics are removing Marvel Avengers controversial progression boost from sales today as first step in rebuilding player confidence in us as a team. Square faced a furious backlash from Avenger players last month after it began selling XP boost consumables in the game Real Money Store, despite pre-launch promise it would only ever monetize cosmetics. It was a step the community had feared was coming ever since Crystal Dynamics introduced an unpopular XP nerf back in March, and fan response to the arrival of paid boosters was swift and brutal. Says here, neither Square nor Crystal Dynamics respond to players' criticism at the time, but now almost a month later the company have announced that Heroes, Catalyst, and Fragment Extractors will be removed from Marvel Avengers in-game store by the end of today. That was yesterday. And it says here, they says we apologize for not responding sooner to your concerns about the additions of paid consumables in the marketplace. Square Enix and Crystal Dynamics wrote in an official statement poster to Twitter, we introduced them as an option for evolving player base and did not see them as pay to win since they don't offer power directly. After considering your feedback, we have decided that by the end of today, we will remove hero catalyst and fragment extractors for purchase. They will continue to be earnable rewards as those already owned are still usable. We hope that this can be the first step in rebuilding your confidence in us as a team. The statement concluded. It continues to be our goal to make the very best game possible. Thank you for being a part of Marvel Avengers community. Look, they dropped the ball on this one. They dropped the ball. They messed the game up pretty bad. And when they changed the leveling system, and man, we're in the era of Zen 2 RDNA CPU and graphics cards, and you can't be putting limitations on superheroes. So the Avengers should have been like how DC Universe is. Really, when you really look at it, it should have been like how DC Universe is. So you can see how the entire Avengers universe work, and I would say Crystal Dynamics, all three of them, Crystal Dynamics, Square, and Sony, they all dropped the ball on this one. They thought they could fool gamers, but today's gamers, especially gamers like me, we're not as stupid as you think, man. We understand this gaming industry pretty good. So like most players were saying that earlier before the game came out, that Rocksteady or WB Games Rocksteady should have done the Avengers, but Rocksteady had their hands full with the Arkham series, and then they decided to go do what was that, Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League. So we end up with Crystal Dynamics, Square, and Sony, and then Sony with that Spider-Man controversy in Disney. And then you put that, and then Sony and Square got history and relationship. Square Enix, Sony and Square Enix both got relationships since PlayStation 1. So you put that, and then you see what happened to the Avengers. So they put limitations on superheroes on how to move and where to go and stuff like that. The game was a complete mess, man, and then they changed the leveling system. Then they was adding pay to win cosmetics to the game, and that's when players went off. You already went from like a 30,000 user base on the PC side, and that like dropped down to like what 5,000 or 2,000, and players were complaining then. So if you didn't take the warning serious then, how serious this was? Why all of a sudden you're talking about rebuild confidence in us? Come on, man. Gamers ain't falling for it. That's why most gamers stayed with DC Universe, because there was a lot about the Avengers that they didn't like. And Sony and Square and Crystal Dynamics really dropped the ball on this one, because the Avengers universe is supposed to be like DC Universe, where you can fly and move, just like how players do on DC Universe. That's how it was supposed to be, But they try to come with a top-down view. Nah, that ain't working. Top-down views ain't working. You got to have the game like how DC Universe is, to fully utilize the Avengers. But anyway, but they're trying to make changes now. The damage has been done, but we'll see what they'll do as the months go on. But anyway, I'm I'll leave this video for y'all to enjoy it. But nice talking to you people again. Chris, still a Star Wars and Star Trek thing, or Dark Side. I'm gone. Peace. Like, leave some comments in the comments below. Anyway.